Hello, North Country soccer fans, and welcome to the George Brenler Field. I'm Joey Trombley, and on the camera is not the founding father of Hometown Cable, Calvin Casson. He's in Champlain. The Cougars have their senior night tonight. Tonight it's Chazy's senior night, but on the camera is Joe, the Phish Poisson. So Poisson has come out of retirement, has agreed to take over the camera. Plus, we also have NFHS also on tonight's telecast between Joe and I. So we have NFHS, we have Hometown Cable, we have Chazy, we have Boquet Valley, the Griffins, and the Eagles and the Griffins. They're a rival, long-time rival. So it's the final regular season game as far as league play goes. Chazy will have another game this Thursday against Schroon Lake. And it is, I say, senior night. There'll be a presentation at halftime for the seniors. And this game is on, and quickly it's Levar sends a ball deep into the Chazy territory. And coming off his line is Zamir Foster. He's been a strong goalie this year for the Eagles. And Joe, this year, as you heard prior to this game, they've only given up one goal this year, and that was at the Frankie Garrow Memorial. And in league play, they have not given up a goal yet.
That is phenomenal. You know, maybe they can keep the streak going tonight. We'll see. This is, well, they do have another regular season game, correct?
Well, they have one more game. It'll count toward the record, but this is the last league game.
Okay, I understand. Now they're playing Schroon Lake. They're in a different division. Okay.
Yeah, Schroon Lake is Division 3, and Chazy's Division 2.
I have a hard time doing two things at once, so I'm just going to try not to miss too much video.
All right.
Until I figure this out.
So it is Isaac Merrill who's had a great season so far for Chazy. Loses the ball, it goes over to Berto. The Griffins takes it to the outside, but it's Labarge with the ball, pushes it back, gets it over to McAfee. McAfee trying to control the midfield. He goes to the far side, gets to the gunner Frenier. Frenier has it taken away by Berto. Berto sends it forward into the Chazy defensive zone, but it'll work its way off the sidelines. It'll be a throw-in for Chazy. Chazy did go down to the Camp Dudley Field, and they did have their way with the Griffins in Camp Dudley.
Now this is three schools combined now, correct?
It is. It's the Griffins, of course, of E-Town. You have Westport, and then Willsboro could not get enough players this year, so they joined this group. I'm not sure how many players from Willsboro are on this team, but yes, it is three schools.
It's kind of a shame that it's come to that, you know, with the lack of population. These small schools are just drying up. It's a shame.
It certainly is. And we have a corner kick for Chazy, and it's going to be Isaac Merrill, and Isaac Merrill will take the corner kick for Chazy. We're early in the first half on senior night at the George Brenler Field on the 11th of October. And there's a nice feed. Ball goes off the head of Tyndall on the ground, but it's cleared off to the outside. Hustling for the ball is gunner Frenier. Frenier is being challenged by Rutz, and it goes off the... It'll be a throw-in, deep throw-in for the Eagles. It'll be Dylan McAfee for Chazy with the throw-in. Ball comes into play, lands on the ground, and it's Labarge trying to get a shot off, and it's controlled by number 14, Rutz, but it goes off of a Chazy player. He shielded the ball. So we'll have a goal kick for the Griffins, and it is going to be the goalkeeper and they didn't mark it down. So I'm not 100% sure, but I'll get the assistant coach down there in a minute. Do we have what it says? Is it 12? We got one down here too. So it is either going to be Grayson King or Landon Egglefield. Ball's chipped up, goes off of the head of Levar, and the Dudiak trying to get a shot off. And the next ball that goes out, I will talk to the coach. Salamando chips it up out of bounds. Hey, coach, assistant coach, who's your goalie? Who's the goalie? It is Grayson. Okay, thank you. So the goalie is Grayson King for the Griffins. Ball is chipped up, goes off of Poyer. Poyer trying to get it back to Salamando. And it's now picked up by Merrill. Merrill will take it up toward midfield. He's got space. He will now send a through ball trying to find Labarge. And the ball is knocked up in the air by Bueller. and it goes off of Dudiak. So we're going to have a throw in for the Griffins.
I like Salamando. Didn't he break his ankle or something
Yeah,
earlier?
He had a cracked ankle, I
And
think.
it's phenomenal to see him back out there this soon.
About a month he was out.
Oh, it's been, yeah. I was here during the Frank Aguero tournament when we were up here, and he was out and he was on crutches, and boy, I'm glad. He was a really good defender. Boy, to heal up that quick is nice. Very nice.
So here goes McAfee, as there was a push on Bowden Bueller. He sends it off outside the 18 and goes off the head of Tindo. He knocked right to the 18, and quickly it's cleared out by Carson Liebeck. So it's going to be a throw-in for the Eagles. We're at 35:05 first half. Senior night at the George Brendler Field on this beautiful fall night in October. Ball's chipped back, picked up by Merrill. Merrill shot from distance, rips it, and it just goes wide of the net. And Grayson King was there, and he just eyeballed it off the side of the goalpost. So a goal kick for the Griffins.
One thing you mentioned, it is senior night. And you have not mentioned, though, that Chazy has not given up a goal in league play this year so far. They're going to try to keep a clean slate.
Yeah, what's amazing is they've given up one goal, and that was to the Hornets in the championship game. And that was the second game of the season for them. They had to tie with Canton. You were here for that one, too.
0-0.
And so it was, I think it was 2005 team that scored 160 goals and gave up 3, and one of them was to Fillmore in the playoffs. And here comes the
Nice stick.
great play by Tindo over to Labarge on the run. Labarge controls the ball, cutting it through. There goes Labarge. He pushes it through, gets it over to Mosier. Mosier goes out to Dudiak. Dudiak chips it back over to Labarge, and Labarge goes over the side or the end line. So goal kick coming up. But they gave up 3 goals, counting the final 4, and Chazy's only given up 1 this year, which is impressive. What's more impressive, Joe, is it's a whole new defense.
It was an inexperienced defense and an inexperienced keeper.
Right.
So they've done phenomenal. Dwyer back there coming alive. He's done a great job from what I understand.
And I'll tell you, Shamir Foster has been just rock solid in net for the Eagles. And then you have your fullbacks. You have Tindo. You have Poyer, and then of course you have Salamando back into action, who's done a great job for the Eagles. So right now there is no score. The ball is controlled by Ben Berto. Berto now working his way to the middle of the field, taken away by Dudiak. Pushes over to Merrill. Merrill goes up, finds Labarge. He heads it back over to Dudiak. Dudiak will work his way down the line, but he's being defended by Ben Berto. It's Dudio and Berto battling. Dudiak trying to cut through, and it pushes it back over to Merrill, but it's picked up by Bueller, and that's Bowden Bueller. Ball's chipped forward. Knocked down by Harvey Merrill of Elizabethtown, Westport, Willsboro. I'm trying to get all 3 names here. It's I should just say the Griffins, and it's knocked out of bounds by Poyer, and it's just 3 names at one time. Quick, just wasn't going there smooth, Joe.
Well, creatures of habit.
Bueller comes in, throws the ball into Liberi, and that is going to go out of bounds. So a throw in for the Eagles. It will be Owen Poyer for Chazy with the throw in. And we have the mic on for NFHS, and we're here for Hometown Cable on the 11th day of October, 2022. The final league game, regular season game, I should say, for the division. Chazy has already won the division this year, and of course they'd like to keep that record clean.
What is the record of the Griffins? Do you know offhand?
I do not know. I think it might be sub 500, but I don't know for sure. And I can actually find out.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob, what's the Griffins' record? No. All right, Rob McAuliffe does not know the record offhand. And, of course, he's a little focused on the game, too. So he just...
You didn't do your homework, Joey.
No, I didn't. That's usually you, Joe. But I know you're doing the cameraman tonight. And
one thing at a time.
Yeah, no, I'm just glad to have you back up here.
And I'm very new at this.
No, you've done this before.
Long time ago.
Oh, but you're known as steady hand Phish. The Phish is known as a steady hand.
Okay.
So we're going to go with that for the viewers. And I'm just increasing your fame here on what you can do.
I'm developing another skill set.
But for you, it comes easy. For most people, they struggle. But you,
well, this is.
I mean, I don't think Calvin's in trouble losing his position, but you're doing a good job. So it's picked up by McAfee, pushes it over to Levar. And a nice job by Bueller. And the ball is kicked up. Goes off of the head of Poyer. Hustling back is nice job by Dwyer, sending the ball up. And that will work its way out of bounds as it goes off Bodenbuehler. And it will be Dudiak with a quick throw, and he gets it over to Merrill. Merrill with space. Goes to the far side. Hits Gunnar Frenier. One times it over to Levar. Levar pushes it forward, trying to find. And there's a rip of a shot. And what a shot by Gunnar Frenier. But a nice job. Grayson King just had to hold his ground, and he made a nice save.
Good shot. Good work by Chazy, though. They've been controlling pretty much every aspect of this game so far.
Well, the key for Chazy, if McAfee and Merrill can control the midfield, that's how Chazy goes, and they've done a great job this year with that. But there was a great defensive play by Carson Liebeck. He sends the ball forward, trying to find Salamando. Salamando with the ball, sends it to the opposite side, far side. Frenier hustling to the ball, but it's cleared out by Judah Rutz of the Griffins. Ball's pushed back, chipped up, and McAfee trying to get to the ball. Goes onto the feet of Ben Berto. Berto now comes to the near sideline. He finds Braden Liberi. Liberi hips it over, trying to get it to number 9, Harvey Merrill. And it's controlled by the Griffins right now. And that's a foul on Levar, and that was a good call.
It was a good call.
And
Griffins, they're trying to get something going. You can see them. They're not bad. You can tell that. They have a few skilled players. You just need a little bit of refinement. How many do they have on the bench over there?
Looks like 6.
6 on the bench. They got a decent bench.
So 17 players.
Mm-hmm. Well, you get 3 schools. You probably should.
Well, it shows 19 on the rosters. They probably brought some people up from the JVs.
Yeah, it's a smart move.
There's a shot from distance. And Foster will have no problem with it. It was a nice long shot by Carson Liebeck. So Foster will work his way to the 18 for the punt. And this is a weapon, Joe, for the Eagles. And there it goes. And that's like a 62-yard field goal in football.
Yes, it is.
That went off the head of Levar. So we're going to have a throw-in for the Griffins' far side. I don't know if it looked like it. Ball comes into play. It went over to Carson Liebeck, but it's controlled by the Eagles. It's McAfee. McAfee switching fields, trying to find Dudiak. Dudiak comes in on the weak side. And he wished he could have that one over. He took it off the end line. So we're going to have a goal kick for the Griffins. It's going to be Grayson King setting the ball up. And we have Caden Reynolds taking the goal kick for the Griffins. We're at 27-19. We have no score. Chazy leads in the shot category 1-0, corner kick category 1-0. But there's been a lot of midfield play so far, Joe.
Yeah, Chazy has I think they've had the better of it so far. The Griffins haven't put anything on Isaac yet. Excuse me, was it Foster? Yeah, Foster.
So another big deep throw in by Reynolds, cleared out by Poyer to the middle of the field, but it's picked up by the Griffins' Liebeck. Liebeck goes to the far side. He finds Jackson Hooper. Hooper working his way down. He's being defended by Tyndall, and he sends the ball forward. Coming off the line is Foster. Foster's a very athletic goalie. He knows when to come off, but he also knows how to stay home.
Yeah, he's big. He's a big, strong. Look at that kick.
I know. It's a weapon for sure. And it is Mosier coming over to Levar. Levar's trying to push it over to Dudiak, but it goes onto the feet of Liberia of the Griffins. Reynolds sends it forward, but it's taken away by Dudiak. Over to McAfee. McAfee trying to chip it back. He gets it over to Mosier. Mosier pushes it to the outside, trying to find Gunnar Frenier. Frenier cannot. Oh, he does. He saves it from going out. So Frenier trying to cut it back to the inside. He's being defended by Rutz. Shot comes in. Ball's headed out by Otis Wecken. Wecken sends it forward. Stepping up is Dwyer. Does a nice job getting the ball over to Gunnar Frenier, but it's now controlled by the Griffins. Ball sent forward to the far side. It will work its way out of bounds as Ben Bertle tried to send it forward, but it'll be a throw-in for Chazy.
You haven't mentioned the old Field of Dreams.
It's
a beautiful night. I mean, the colors are gorgeous in the trees, and I don't think it's going to last much longer. We have some weather coming in to take care of a lot of the leaves, unfortunately.
Well, one thing this year, Joe, is there'll be no. No, there goes Merrill. So Merrill, nice step over, sending it forward over to Mosier, and it's cleared out by Walker. But one thing, there'll be no regional or sectional play on this field this year, Joe.
Yeah, there's 2 new fields around. They're going to be playing on those artificial turfs, brand new.
Beatmantown or Northeast.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
And you know what? It makes sense this time of year.
Sure.
But this is the premier pitch, natural pitch.
Oh, without a doubt.
And it's just outside the 18. Stepping up is Dudiak. He'll push it up. No, he'll take it himself.
It's in wonderful condition, this field. I mean, Norcross the athletic director here does a great job keeping this field in tip-top shape, and it is
and
beautiful.
Even in front of the nets aren't bad right now.
No.
And coming off his line again is Foster. And Foster doesn't mind that. It keeps him a little loose, gets into the game a little bit. And here we go. Boom. That's short on his standards. Bounces up. Ball's headed by McAfee toward the 18. And that ball is cleared out. And probably a good job by Wecken to get rid of that ball, let his defense have a chance to set up. And it's going to be McAfee taking the throw in for Chazy. We have 24 minutes left in the first half. We have no score on Senior Night at the George Brendler Field on the 22nd of October, 2022. Joey Trombley, along with Joe the Phish Pussa on the camera. I know you're expecting the founding father, Calvin Castine, but he's up at Northeastern for their Senior Night.
Nice move by number 7.
And that would have been Braden Liberi. Sends it up, goes to Labarge. Labarge has some time. He pushes it up over to Merrill. Merrill cuts it to the inside. Merrill, it's like Velcro on his feet with that ball, Joe.
Yeah, he's got a great touch.
Nice play by Labarge. Labarge trying to cut it through, but he's defended well by Judah Rutz. Picked up by McAfee. And the ball is cleared out by Berto. Berto still with the ball. Nice footwork by Berto, working his way past midfield. And it's still Berto with the ball. He gets the ball up over to the feet of Gay. And that would be Ted. Ted Gay loses the ball over to Poyer. And there was a handball on the Griffins. So it will be Isaac Merrill taking the kick. He will, I'm sure, at least I think he'll try to serve the ball to the 18 and see what happens. So it's Isaac Merrill for Chazy. There it goes to the 18. And that ball is deflected off the head. It could have been an own goal. But good hands by Grayson King as his defense went to help him, but went off their head toward the net. And checking into the game is Novak Jarris, and he's done really well this year for the Eagles. He's only a sophomore, but he's done a great job as a sophomore at the varsity level. And coming out of the game is Gunnar Frenier. And also coming out for the Griffins is Harvey Merrill. And I think checking into the game was Ezra Wecken for the Griffins. So it'll be McAfee with the throw-in. And Labarge gets a shot, rips a shot low, and going down was Grayson King. Did a nice job. Made sure it didn't go between them. And he quickly gets the ball out. Poyer checks it up, heads it up, I should say. Goes off of the head of Ezra Wecken, who just checked into the game. And that is going to be a high kick on Poyer. So it's going to be Caden Reynolds with the kick for the Griffins with 21:15 left in the first half. Chazy out shooting the Griffins 3-0 at this point. Ball goes off of the feet of Finley Walker. Walker has the ball. He pushes it back to this defense. It goes on to Wecken. That's Otis Wecken, high in the air. And that would be McAfee goes to the near side, gets Dudiak. Dudiak being defended by Reynolds. Has it knocked away by Reynolds off the feet of Bueller, gets it onto the feet of Liberi. He goes to the opposite part of the field, trying to get Hooper. He does. Jackson Hooper with the ball, working his way toward midfield. Has it knocked away. It's picked up by Merrill. Merrill with the ball, taking it to the outside. Merrill getting by Hooper. Hooper comes back to defend. It's Merrill. And he has that quick speed, Joe, that just first step quickness. And he kind of freezes the defender. He still has the ball. Sends it across, and now it's knocked back out, picked up by Salamando. Salamando cuts it to the inside. He pushes it back over to McAfee outside his foot. He goes down the line trying to find Jarris, and the ball is knocked forward by the Griffins, but it's picked up by Labarge. Labarge with the ball, trying to cut through the defense, but it was defended well by Jackson Hooper. He sends it forward, and it's number 4, Maddox Tindo sends the ball toward the net. Coming off the line was Grayson King. He has a nice punt. That just goes short of Salamando. He chips it to the outside, but it goes on the feet of Liberi. And it is Dwyer sends it to the outside. So we have a throw-in for the Griffins, and they're now in the offensive zone. It's been a while, but they're in the offensive zone.
Still 0-0. Now, the first meeting between these two teams, you were there?
I was, and it was a game dominated by Chazy. In the first half, they scored like 6 goals.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think the final might have been 7-0, maybe 8. It's just that Chazy was clicking that night.
Yeah.
But it's a different team tonight for the Griffins. They've come to play.
Yes, they have.
And when you have this rivalry, I don't care what the records are. A rivalry is a rivalry. So here's an opportunity for the Griffins, and it's going to be Ben Berto. He has a low shot that deflects off of Dwyer and Walker. Finley Walker pushes it back over to Reynolds. Reynolds sends it forward. It's cleared out.
How many times did it go up? Right?
So Chazy gets the call there. So we're going to have Evan Dwyer taking the kick for Chazy. We're 18-28, no score in the first half. And, of course, we will have the halftime festivities to honor our seniors, the Chazy seniors, as this is their senior night in Chazy. Ball comes up, trying to find Mosier, and it's cleared out by Carson Liebeck. And Tyndall goes to the outside. He finds Jarris. Jarris working his way down the sideline. And he pushes it up over to Labarge, trying to get it to Labarge, but it's a short kick, goes over to Mosier. Mosier goes over to Dudiak. Dudiak trying to get inside the 18. Dudiak getting a shot off, and it goes wide. It's picked up by Labarge. He goes to the outside, trying to find Jarris, and it's cleared out by Walker. And now it's controlled by the Griffins. Wecken gets it to the far side over to Ben Berto. Berto sends it forward. Back there is Dwyer, and quickly he sends it back into the offensive zone for the Eagles. And the ball is back at midfield. It's controlled by the Griffins. It's Bueller. Bueller pushes it back onto the feet of Berto. Or I'm sorry, that would have been Reynolds. Walker hustling back for the Griffins. And we got to throw in for Chazy.
A little off your game tonight, Joey.
No, it's okay. Well,
Off
he had a little bit of yellow there. I think in Bobcat country there.
Little off the game. That's okay. It's been a while for you too.
Hey, quit shaking the camera. Let's be focused now. This ball is controlled by Liberi. Liberi working his way down, doing a nice job hustling back is Poyer. And Poyer is called for the foul. And so we're at 16:43 left in the first half. We have no score on this senior night in Chazy at the George Brendler Field. Caden Reynolds for the Griffins. He has wide open to his left is Bowden Bueller. And Bueller's now working his way to the line where the rest of the players are. Back to defend is McAfee. And the ball is sent outside the 18, goes off the head of Dwyer. Ball headed down by Berto into the open space. Hustling is Dwyer. Dwyer with the ball, McAfee working his way down. It's McAfee, has space, McAfee trying to get by Reynolds. He cuts it to the inside. McAfee rips it across, and I thought that might have hit the hand. And no, it didn't. It went right over Grayson King. So we have a goal kick for the Griffins. And coming back into the game is Gunnar Frenier. Coming out is Dudiak. So we're 15:36 left in the first half. No score at the George Brendler Field. I'm Joey Trombley along with Joe the Fish Puss on the camera. Calvin is up in Champlain at Northeastern Clinton for their senior night. And, of course, we're also doing the game for NFHS. We got the mic on, so viewers of NFHS can hear a little commentary during this game. I can't tell you how well the cameras work up there, but you can definitely hear us.
What's the pay rate on that?
I don't think anything, because we just got in on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But if you want to send them a bill, Joe, you go right ahead.
Yeah, we should.
Because you're running the camera from Hometown Cable.
That's what it's all about, man.
That's called double dipping, Joe. That's double dipping.
Hey.
Oh, here we go. Here come the Griffins. And a nice play by Tyndall. Tyndall working his way up. And that is Maddox. Tyndall goes too far, but it's deflected off him by number 14, Judah Rutz. Controlled by Labarge. Labarge working his way forward. Cuts it to the inside. Nice play by Labarge. Left-footed shot, and he cuts it to the outside far post. Another goal kick for the Griffins.
Good work by Labarge. You know, he's got size and speed. I noticed McAfee down here a few plays ago, too. Chazy has good speed. You can tell they're very dangerous when they get the ball.
Well, it starts at midfield with McAfee and Merrill controlling the midfield. And when you control the midfield, good things can happen and do happen. The ball is chipped up. It goes off of the head of Berto. Who got it to Bueller, back to Bertle. Poyer back. He tries to clear it, but it goes on to the feet of Liberi. Liberi has it deflected. Ball's headed forward by Merrill. That's Harvey Merrill for the Griffins. And it's Bertle trying to get a shot off. He whiffs on the play, and it is picked up by Isaac Merrill. Merrill outside his foot over to Labarge. Labarge goes to the outside, Gunnar Frenier. Frenier goes back over to Mosier. Mosier, he had a lot of pressure. He tried. You could see he was trying to get to that far side, but a lot of pressure. But good passing by the Eagles.
Good work. Let me move this up here just a little bit.
So we have 13-12 left in the first half. We still have no score. A lot of midfield play. Chazy has had 3 shots on net, but I mean, nothing. There have been some hard shots, but nothing that would scare Grayson King, that's for sure. So the Griffins are playing a very inspired first half against the Eagles in Chazy at the George Brendler Field. Ball goes back to Poyer. Poyer tries to go to Salamando, gets by Salamando, and now it's picked up by the Griffins. Far side hustling is Hooper, Jackson Hooper. Tindo's coming over to defend. Hooper cuts it to the inside. He sends it across, and that gets by everybody. And here's a shot, low shot, and that's cleared out by Dwyer. So a little sloppy defense there for a little bit for the Eagles, but the Griffins.
Good work by the Griffins.
Yeah. And the ball is cleared out, and now the ball is sent forward. Coming off his line was Foster. It goes off his leg. And the ball is cleared back to midfield. It's picked up by Reynolds. Reynolds has it. Oh, McAfee goes down, and that's not good. That was leg to leg.
We're just going to stop this for a minute.
And we are back from the McAfee injury. The good news is Dylan McAfee walked off on his own, so that's a good sign. And the ball is chipped forward, goes off of the head of Poyer, chipped up by Liebeck. And the ball goes back. Nice play by Berto. Berto's defended, gets it on to the feet of Bueller. And it's like the Griffins are waiting for the perfect moment to get the shot off. Here's an opportunity. He's trying to turn. He was defended well. And Joe, it just looks to me like the Griffins were working for that perfect pass.
They're also working very hard, and they're making some good passes to each other. Having a hard time getting a shot off, but they're keeping the ball in the Chazy end.
So the ball is headed out by Mosier, And I think it's fair to say the last 2 minutes or so have favored the Griffins. They're controlling the play at this point.
Exactly.
So it's going to be a throw-in for the Griffins. It's going to be Caden Reynolds. No, he'll give the ball up over to Bowden Bueller. Bueller goes down the line. It goes off of the head of Liberi. And the ball's chipped back onto the feet of Liebeck. Carson Liebeck cuts it to the inside to Bueller. And it is Dudiak. Pushes it over to Isaac Merrill. Merrill's being challenged by Berto. Merrill still with the ball. Being challenged by Liebeck. Merrill cuts it to the inside. Gets a low shot off. That'll work its way off the end line. A shot from distance. And if you're a Griffin fan, you're like, take those shots all day long. There's really nothing to worry about from that distance normally.
But he can strike it, Merrill, as we've known. He can strike it from distance. McAfee back in the game.
So McAfee is back in the game. That's good to see. Putting some good time in was Gunnar Frenier. He's out of the game right now with 10 minutes to go in the first half. And the ball is chipped up. Whistle called, and it's a foul on the Griffins. So the ball will go to the Eagles' far side. And we have a really nice crowd here tonight, Joe. A really nice crowd.
It is a pretty good crowd. We'll give a little.
All along the fence.
Yeah.
Stands are filled up pretty good. The snack shack's going, and it's what you'd expect. Big time here at the George Brendler Field between the Griffins and the Eagles. There's a shot. On the weak side was Dudiak hustling. Just got out of his way, so it'll be another goal kick for the Griffins. So we're under 10 minutes left in the first half. Shots favor the Eagles 3-1. The corner kicks favor the Eagles 1-0, but the scoreboard says 0-0.
You know, this little low-scoring game, this definitely favored the Griffins. You know, they keep hanging around, lingering around, not giving up a goal, playing well. I mean, they're not bad. No. I can see that. They got some good players. Especially this kid right here, number 7. He's having a pretty good game.
That's Braden Liberi. And the thing is, as the Griffins keep Chazy off, their confidence level is growing as each minute goes by.
Absolutely. They would love to stick one to Chazy on senior night on Chazy Field. And get some redemption from that earlier game. And right now they're doing a lot better than they did that first match.
And it's Isaac Merrill. He'll send the ball forward for the Eagles. And he sends a nice one. But that goes off the head. It went skimmed off the head of Bueller. Hustling back there is Novak Jarris. He sends it back to the 18, but it's knocked away by Bueller. And there's a shot from McAfee. It was not a hard shot, and it was Grayson King. He has a nice punt that goes into Chazy territory. That's a handball on Salamando, and Larry Bayshard, the official, was right there.
Where are the officials tonight, Joey?
We have Larry Bayshard is in the center. We have, yes, those two. I'm going blank. It'll come to me here in a minute. Yeah, the Reagans, yeah. Steve and his boy, I think.
Been a long time official, Regan.
Yeah.
Those college games.
Oh, absolutely. And here's Liebeck. Nice kick. Off the line was Zamir Foster, and that came off him. And, you know, quite frankly, that's how PHS scored.
Yeah.
One ball, it just kind of came off Foster, and they had it was Sorrell, if I remember right, coming on the weak side, who scored that goal for the Hornets. And that was end of August, early September. It was Labor Day weekend.
Labor Day weekend.
Here comes Dudiak. He sends it way over. Hustling back is Jarris. Jarris trying to take it to the outside. He's being defended by Rutz. And Rutz wins that battle. He sends it forward. He finds the feet of Merrill. Harvey Merrill has the ball. And he gets it on over to Berto, but it was taken away by Merrill, Isaac Merrill. He gets a shot from distance that one hops into the hands of Grayson King. And King quickly punting the ball, trying to get something going here for the Griffins. And it is Dudiak, and that is going to a foul on Salamando. So you have Bayshard calling a foul on Salamando. And we're going to have Carson Liebeck taking the kick for the Griffins. 6 minutes left in the first half. We have no score at the George Brendler Field on Senior Night in Chazy. Ball is sent forward. And Zamir Foster calls for it, and the boys clear out. Foster will work his way to the 18. As you can see, he's letting his players get down because he knows he has this weapon. And that ball bounces up. Ball is headed up in the air by Jarris. And it is Levar trying to get to the ball. So at this point of the game, getting toward the end of the first half, anybody getting a goal would definitely have the momentum going into the second half.
That would be an understatement.
So getting ready to check back into the game is Gunnar Frenier for Chazy. But it's a throw-in for the Griffins. As the clock is going down, it's 5 minutes and 15 seconds. And there's no big rush to get the ball in, it looks like, for the Griffins on the far side. Ball comes in, and the coach is Evan George for the Bobcats, and, of course, Rob McCullough for Chazy. And the ball is controlled by Liberi. He sends the ball back, picked up by Gay. Gay pushes it back, goes onto the feet of Walker. Walker loses it. And Levar is trying to chip it up, trying to find Dudiak on the far side. And it gets by number 11, Reynolds. Dudiak coming across. And he just whacked on the ball, and that went over everybody. Far side is controlled by the Griffins. Ball goes up the field, but it goes off the sideline. So a throw-in for the Eagles. It will be Maddox Tyndale. And coming out of the game is Jarris.
You think Jarris is only a sophomore?
Yeah, Novak Jarris is only a sophomore.
He's a big kid.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, he is. It's nice to see he's going to be bringing him back.
There's the rip wide by McAfee. So the shots are evening up. It's 5-3 Chazy in the shot category. Very evenly matched play in the first half. A lot of midfield play. And it is a goal kick for the Griffins. It's Reynolds. He sends the ball up. Ball is pushed back. And now sent forward by Bowden Bueller. Goes over the head of Tyndall. Tyndall now heads it forward into the offensive zone. And the ball will go to Ben Bertle. He'll take the throw. No, he gives the ball up. And it's going to be a throw-in for the Griffins, far side. Ball comes into play. And Salamando pushes it back over to Dwyer. Dwyer finds Poyer. Poyer has Dudiak ahead of him. Dudiak controlling. Sends it forward, trying to get it by Reynolds. Reynolds again sends it up. Poyer sends it forward, trying to find Dudiak. Dudiak has it knocked away by Reynolds. Reynolds doing a nice job up there. It is now McAfee trying to find Merrill. Merrill sends it forward, up over to Mosier. Back over to Merrill. He gets it over to LaBarge. LaBarge has it knocked away, goes onto the feet of Tyndall. Tyndall over to Salamando. He chips it forward. McAfee trying to keep it on the ground. It's McAfee. And they got the wall set up, and they do a nice job defending with the wall. Merrill goes to the outside, trying to find Gunnar Frenier. Frenier cuts it to the inside. He's defended well. Ball sent forward. And we're at 2 minutes, so we're going to hear the 2-minute call. There's the call. And Levar's trying to control it. Can't get to it. It's cleared to the outside by Bueller. Picked up by Tyndall, who's up in the offensive zone for Chazy. Ball sent forward, trying to find Gunnar Frenier. It's controlled by the Griffins. And so a throw-in for Chazy. 1:41. Chazy putting some pressure on. Ball comes back. Ball chipped up. Merrill heads it forward. And Poyer heads the ball to the outside. Kept in by Dudiak. McAfee trying to cut it to the inside. He does. McAfee back over to Merrill. Merrill goes to the outside over to Labarge. Labarge trying to turn to get a shot off. And it's picked up and cleared out by number 7 of Liberia. They're doing what they have to do.
Good defense. You're not allowing them to turn, you know. You got to give the Griffins that credit. They're not allowing any really good shots.
So we have under a minute. Chazy putting some pressure on, but trying to get a good shot off, but they're being defended well. As Joe said, it is Mosier. Mosier to the outside. Mosier trying to chip it forward. And again, defended well by the Griffins. Ball comes back. Dwyer trying to clear it out. He deflects off of Merrill. Merrill with the ball, trying to get a through ball as he's tried to find Liberia. And hustling back is Poyer. Poyer chips it up, and that goes on to the feet of Bowden Bueller. Back onto Liberia.
10, 9,
and we have the 10-second countdown.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And the first half at the George Brendler Field comes out to a close. We have no score, and you can see the excitement of the Griffins to come out of this first half with no score. And we have a halftime show to get to. It's Senior Night in Chazy. And it is Senior Night. It is Senior Night.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to George Brendler Field, where we are Senior Night.
It is Senior Night.
Boys soccer players. Tonight we honor 7 seniors as they celebrate all of their individual and collective accomplishments over the last 13 years here at Chazy Central Rural School. We want to congratulate all of our senior boys and their families on an outstanding soccer career, and we wish them all the very best with their future endeavors. The Chazy community is very proud of you. And now let's meet our senior boys. Number 17, senior Austin Dozer.
And there goes Austin Dozer.
Joining Austin are his parents, Jared and Nicole Dozer, along with his sister, Danica.
Oh.
Joey, I'm going to move. I'm going to move over here.
Sure. And here's the parents coming out. So Joe is moving the camera for a better spot here. Yes.
Our next senior, number 6, Caden Garrow.
And coming up is Caden Garrow.
Joining Caden are his parents, Kevin and Chandra Garrow, along with his brother Matthew and his sister Tabitha.
And the parents will be joining Caden Garrow.
Next senior, number 8, Landon Salamando.
Landon Salamando coming back from a broken ankle or leg.
Joining Landon is his mother, Andrea Salamando, Cindy Brunel, Lori Salamando, and Paula Ponsberger.
And here they come. And there's a nice photo. And Omar's got a Yankee hat on just like Joe the Phish. Gunnar Frenier coming the next senior.
Joining Gunnar are his parents, Michael and Jessica Frenier, along with his brothers, Landon and Addison, and his sister, Ebony.
And here come the parents and siblings. And you have Landon up there also.
Next, number 28, Senior Captain Peter Levar.
And one of the captains, Peter Labarge.
Joining Peter are his parents, Jason and Jackie Levar, along with his sisters, Maggie and Cece, his cousin, Riley Duffy, and his grandparents, Brian and Barbara Mock.
And here comes his family.
What's in the swag bags, Joey?
I don't know. But a lot of swag. It's a big bag.
Next, number 11, Senior Captain Reagan Dudiak.
And here comes Reagan Dudiak.
Joining Reagan are his parents, Steve and Melissa Dudiak, along with his brother McLean and his grandmother, Linda Lalonde.
Well, Joe, senior night is always a nice night.
If the weather's good, which it is, it's perfect.
Perfect for it.
It is perfect.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Yeah, these guys deserve it.
Absolutely.
And number 18, Senior Captain Luke Mosier.
And here's Luke Mosier.
Joining Luke are his parents, James and Christy Mosier, along with his sister Maeve and his brother Teddy.
Another nice
I'd
photo.
like to bring something up. James Mosier was a phenomenal player back in the day.
Yeah, he was.
Yes, he was.
For our senior boys.
And there's the seniors. They have their bag of swag, as Joe likes to call it. And a nice night here at the George Brendler Field. And we're back to start the second half. It was a nice ceremony for senior night at the George Brendler Field, as the seniors, 7 seniors, were recognized for their years playing on soccer in Chazy. And that really, Joe, comes from the county to modify the JV to varsity.
Yep.
And it's their soccer career wearing the green and white for Chazy. But let's get to the game, Joe. The first half, if you come off at halftime, the Griffins are pretty excited that they played with this, and not only the division champs, but the #1 team in the state right now.
Really? Their ring number of Chazy is, huh?
Yep.
Good. Yeah, hey, you got to hand it to them. They had a few chances. They really haven't tested Foster. I mean, and honestly, neither keeper has been tested as far as I'm concerned. All the shots from Chazy are from distance, and the Griffins are the same way, but Chazy had better get on track if they want to have a clean slate in this league.
So the Chazy takes the kickoff to start the second half, and quickly it's cleared out by Bowden Bueller. So Chazy will have a throw in deep into their own defensive territory for the Griffins. So we're early here in the second half at the George Brendler Field. The Griffins and the Eagles, it is a rivalry game, but it is also senior night on the 22nd, or I'm sorry, the 11th of October, 2022. And there's a foul on the Griffins. So here's a good opportunity for the Eagles, and they have 2 guys. They got Merrill, they got McAfee, they got Mosier, and they got Labarge. Any one of them can find the back of the net.
Exactly. And maybe they'll try to break.
So they got a wall. I think they're going to ask for 10 yards, I would think, is what they're going to be asking for.
Maybe not.
So you see, they're going to be a set play, or it's going to be a blast into the upper 90s, and it looks like it's going to be a blast. So I got a feeling Labarge is just going to touch it, and Merrill is going to rip it. I'm going to call that from here. We'll see what happens. It's just a gut feeling that I have. And no, it's a shot by Labarge. and it goes right into the hands of Grayson King. King didn't have to do anything on that. It was a nice shot, but it just went into King's hands. Quickly, he sends the ball back, headed forward by Dwyer, back to Dwyer's head. And it is Merrill battling for the ball, picked up by number 4, Ben Bertle. He sends the ball back. Defense hustling back. Here comes Dwyer. Dwyer just cleans it out off the sideline. So a throw in for the Griffins. It's going to be number 4, Ben Bertle. He sends the ball back to Carson Liebeck. He chips it toward the end line. It'll work its way off the end line. So it's going to be a goal kick for Chazy. Zamir Foster will set it up, and he'll take the kick. We have no score in this game at the George Brendler Field. We're in the second half now. It's 37:50 left in the second half, so we're very early in the second half. Shots favor Chazy 6-3. The corner kicks favor Chazy 1-0. But where it matters most on the scoreboard, there is no score, and it's picked up by Labarge. Labarge with the ball. Trying to get a through ball. Hustling on the far sideline is Mosier. Mosier slips. And Joe, there's a shot by Gunnar Frenier, and he just goes wide of the net. Nice shot by Gunnar Frenier. But, Joe, when we were on the field for the halftime festivities, the ground's a little slick.
It is, but that was actually some good work by Mosier in that far corner. He slipped, got the ball back in, and served it back inside. Good work by Mosier.
McAfee sends it back to Salamando. He pushes it back to Dwyer. Dwyer goes to the far side. So some good movement by Chazy, picked up by Poyer. Poyer now sends it forward. It goes off of Merrill to McAfee. One times it over to Dudiak. Dudiak goes to the outside to Mosier. So some nice work. Again, Mosier with that speed as he's being defended by Reynolds. Mosier trying to cut it to the inside. Sends it to the far side. Frenier goes off of Frenier. Pushes it back. Tyndall, left-footed. Would love to have that one back. He took it over every net that's out there. It's in the woods. It'll be an easy find for the boys when they go searching for it. So it'll be a goal kick for the Griffins. It's going to be Grayson King for the Griffins. He gets a low shot. Picked up by Chazy, but knocked forward. Cleaned out by Liebeck. Dwyer heads the ball back down. He's trying to find McAfee. McAfee controlling the ball. Pushes it up over to Merrill. Merrill chips it forward over to Gunnar Frenier. Frenier has it knocked away. Picked up by Rutz. Tyndall keeping the ball in play. Gets it up over to Labarge. Labarge to the middle of the field trying to find McAfee. McAfee trying to control, but a nice job by the Griffins. Ball sent back. Back there is Dwyer. Dwyer heads the ball forward toward midfield. Ball's headed up by Liberi of the Griffins, but it goes onto the feet of McAfee. McAfee goes to the outside to Mosier. Mosier will cut it to the inside. Mosier pushes it back. Simple pass over to Merrill. Merrill being defended. And now he'll cut it to the outside. Merrill keeps that ball on his feet. It's Merrill cutting his way down to the end line. Merrill still with the ball. Now he'll send it across, trying to find Tyndall. Tyndall again gets a shot high up over the... Now it hits the net this time. So it'll be a goal kick for the Griffins with 34:58 left in the second half. So at halftime, Joel, as we were coming back, Coach McAuliffe really wasn't happy with the troops in the first half.
And rightfully so.
And so I think it was a very frank discussion at halftime, what he expects from them for what the little we heard. And so there's a foul on the Eagles. Senior Night in Chazy at the George Brenner Field on the 11th floor of the house. We got Joey Trombley along with Joe the Phish, Chris Hoffman at the pickup, Calvin Cass on the second center horn, covering Senior Night as the Northeastern front court. Ball comes forward, intercepted by Wheeler. He sends the ball back. Kendall is back to hustling is Hooper. He cuts it to the inside, but Hooper wins that battle. Hooper now chips it up. Foster just comes off his line. There's no issue with Zamir. He lets it float through his arms. He'll work his way to the 18 and ready to check back into the game is Carson Levar. He came out for a little breather. He's playing really well for the Griffins tonight. Ball comes up and it goes past McAfee. Trying to find Levar. Picked up by Rutz, I should say. And now clear off to the side by Berto. Back to midfield, McAfee. Gives it up over to Merrill. Merrill still with the ball. Working his way forward. Cuts it to the inside. It's still Merrill with the ball. Merrill looking to take the ball into his own hands here. Trying to trip the shot up. Coming off is Gunnar Friendly, weak side. And it is they're calling a corner kick. That went off of Weckman. So a corner kick for Chazy. And Merrill will take the corner kick for Chazy. Hard shot goes in. That deflects inside the box. It's cleared out by Weckman. Back out to Merrill. Merrill pushes it back. And no law. Larry Baker was going to blow the whistle, but he held back. And it is Gunnar Frenier. Gives the ball up over to McAfee. McAfee trying to clear it to the opposite side, but it's controlled by the Griffins. But quickly, Frenier gets the ball to Levar. Levar cuts it to the inside, going back to Frenier, but it's cleared out by Rutz. Tyndall has the ball down, goes to Merrill. Merrill for Chazy. Still with the ball. Chipping the ball up over the net. So we're going to have a goal kick for the Griffins. And Carson Levar checking back into the game. So 26-25, no score. And as I said earlier, Joe, as this game keeps going down, the Griffins are getting more confident.
They are, but they're still playing an awful lot of defense this second half.
And the ball is in Teton territory. I should say the Griffins territory. And it is McAfee. Look, he can load up right here. He gets a low shot off, and nice job by Grayson King to slide off. Make sure it goes off the sideline or end line. So we're going to have a goal kick for the Griffins coming into the game. So it's going to be Reynolds. Picks it up. McAfee tries to get down over to Levar. Far side, now on the far of the Moser. But it's picked up by number 12, Isaiah Weckman. Weckman pushes it back up over to Wheeler. Wheeler to the far side. Stepping up is Boyer. Boyer sends it forward to Moser. Moser getting by Reynolds. Moser and Reynolds battling for the ball. Moser gets to the ball, cuts it back. Left-footed, sends it forward. Goes off of Levar. Pushed back to number 12, Weckman. But it goes on to the Merrill. Merrill trying to get a shot off. That goes off of the feet of Berto and cleared out. Back is clear. He's in the offensive zone. Tries to head it backward. And the ball is through to the middle of the field. Cooper has the ball up. Picked up by McAfee. McAfee switches fields. Goes over to Jarris. Jarris trying to get by the defense. But a good play by number 14, Judah Rutz. He sends the ball forward. Tyndall for Chazy. Looking way down the line. He's being defended by Hooper. Goes back up over to Jarris. Jarris cuts it to the inside. Has it knocked away. Picked up by Berto. Jarris coming over to help out. Goes back to Berto onto the feet of Jackson Hooper. Hooper sends the ball back. It gets by Dwyer. Dwyer sends it to the sideline. He tried to find Tyndall. So it's a throw-in for the Griffins. We're at the 24-minute mark. We have no score at the George Brenner Field on Senior Night in Chazy. Ball controlled by Hooper.
Surprised
imagine George having his team ready for tonight. And you know, we saw early in the season, you know, even going for about 2 months, you would hope there's progression as coach with your team, and we're seeing that tonight for the Griffins. Levar's trying to get a shot off. He's working his way down. It is Levar's, and he's defended well. And it is Budiak working his way down. Or that's Moser.
He has him wide open. Of course, I know Tarzan tries to figure out how to
Yeah, that's right. So McAfee will take the throw in for Chazy far side. That is Dylan McAfee with the ball far side. Ball comes into play. Goes by Moser, kicked out. Knocked up high in the air by Liberi. That's Braden. Picked up by Tyndall. He has the ball down over to Jarris. Jarris taking it to the outside. He's being defended by Jackson Cooper. And we're going to have a corner kick. Cooper takes it off the end line. Merrill will go take the corner kick, and Merrill conserves the ball well in the corner.
Chazy's been stacking up the corner kicks this half.
Merrill sends the ball in. Labarge goes past Labarge. There's a shot. Scores! And there was a scrum up front. And I'm not sure who got it. That could have been Labarge. There was a scrum. And Chazy picked up a...
You know what? The Griffins were protesting, I think, a little bit of that goal. They were not happy with that.
But again, what a nice feed by Isaac Merrill on the corner kick.
You know what the Griffins didn't do? They didn't defend right. You got to clear that ball out. You can't let it bounce. You can't let anything like that happen.
So we're waiting to hear from the officials who got what, who got the goal. So that was at the 22-20 mark. Chazy goes up 1-0. I look down at Brian Norcross. He hasn't heard yet who to give him the goal to. So once we hear, we'll let you know. But there was a kind of a scrum, and it went to the favor of the Eagles. Ball is sent forward. Ball is back toward midfield. Moser. Nice play from McAfee over to Merrill. Merrill trying to cut to the inside. Trying to get over to Labarge. But Labarge goes to the outside to Jarris. Jarris tried to get a shot off. It goes over to Cooper. And Tyndall is taken down by number 3, Jackson Cooper. And we're still trying to figure out who scored the goal. They do, but Steve, do you have an earpiece with Larry? So Jackson Cooper with the yellow. So we don't know who got the goal. The official did not see it. And it was Peter? Okay, we're to come back. Peter Labarge scores the goal for Chazy. The ball up. Ball goes off at the head of Berta. Ball sent back. George over to Moser. Center field. Gets it over to Levar. Levar taking it to the inside. Pushes it out over to Moser. Moser looking a shot. Nice save by Grayson King. And ball comes across again. Grayson King. It goes corner kick. So Chazy is taking control of this game right now.
They have this whole second half. Really, they're just getting out to
A little pep talk from coach.
you have to come out and play, and they have everything in the laptop.
Ball serves, and again, fought weak side. Ball is headed up, and slapped out by Grayson King. it is Boyer, chips it to the outside. He finds Jarris. Jarris has it knocked away by Rutz. And it is McAfee. Gets a shot wide of the net, but we have a goal kick coming up for the Griffins. And we are approaching the 20-minute mark, so we're about halfway through the second half. Chazy leading 1-0 on a goal by Peter Levar. But as Joe, like you said, the second half, Chazy has been controlling the second half without a doubt.
Everything up and down the line.
And it is picked up by Mosier. Mosier goes to the outside to Merrill. And it's Isaac Merrill trying to cut his way through. Nice job defended well by Gay, but Merrill comes back and takes it back. He rips a hard shot just wide of the net, and coming on was Novak Jarris, but it was just too far ahead of him. So we're going to have a goal kick for the Griffins. See the moon over there? Take a little picture of that there, Joe. Oh, I know, but it's coming through the trees. A little spooky. October, Halloween, buddy. It's spooky. Ball comes up. It's picked up by Labarge. Labarge goes to the outside. Over to Luke Mosier. Mosier trying to cut it to the inside. He's defended well by Levar. So that was actually a number 11, Reynolds. There's a shot by Mosier right into the hands of Grayson King. And there's the big kick by King, a nice kick by King. Dwyer heads the ball forward, but it goes on to the feet of Berto. Berto has it knocked away. Now it's chipped forward by Bowden Bueller. And the ball's cleared out by Salamando off of Dubiak. But it goes on to the feet of Bueller of the Griffins. Salamando again sends the ball forward. And Salamando chips it up off the back of Labarge, but he'll still control it. Labarge with the ball. Has it knocked away by Walker. And it is a throw-in for Chazy. It'll be Novak Jarris. He'll give it up to Max Tyndall. Maddox Tyndall with the throw-in. All goes off of the head of Weston. Labarge chips it up. The outside McAfee. Trying to get a shot off. So sends a through ball, nobody there for Chazy. So another ball off the end line. So a goal kick for the Griffins.
Let me get a shot of that moon.
There we are. Moon it out there, Joan, if they can see it. There it is. There it is. Oh, yeah. She's coming up over the trees. It almost seems like I'm watching a Charlie Brown Halloween special. The ball is going forward. It's picked up by Dubiak. And it's cleared out by number 5, Otis Weckton. Ball knocked on the ground. The Griffins trying to control. They do. Reynolds sends the ball forward. It goes off the sideline. It'll be thrown for Chazy far side. We have 16 minutes and 54 seconds left in the second half. 1-0 Chazy on Senior Night at the George Brandler Field. I'm Joey Trombley along with Joe the Phish Brisson on the camera. Calvin is in Champlain at Northeastern Clinton for their Senior Night. So double action here for Hometown Cable and NFHS. They have the broadcast tonight too, as we call this game for Hometown Cable. And it is Isaac Merrill rips the shot, and that goes wide. So Chazy is really putting the pressure on, get shots on net. They're from distance, but there's a lot of goal kicks here right now by the
Score is only 1-0. Let's face it, he's earned his pay tonight.
Well, the shots favor Chazy 12-4, and the corner kicks favor him 5-0. So that kind of tells you how this game's progressing.
They're still playing. The Griffins are not giving up. They're not hanging their head. They're still playing hard. It's impressive. It's good.
They played a really good game tonight. And this is a good showing for the Griffins, and they're still obviously very much in this game. The ball goes back over to McAfee. McAfee gets shot wide of the net. There's another goal kick, but they had nothing to be ashamed go back this point. They play the Eagles very tough, and they play much better than they did last week. But
What you look for is, when are the playoffs going to start? Next week?
They start the preliminaries next week.
Chazy will get a bye, I'm sure, and then home field advantage.
Yeah, they'll have the quarterfinals and semifinals that they'll win here, and then of course the championship game, the second one will be in at Northeastern Training.
Nice. Have you seen that new field now?
I've seen it. I haven't walked on it, but I've seen it from a distance.
Well, these are really pretty.
Well, being an alumni, and there's a shot, and that goes wide. Being an alumni that I am, not that I saw a lot of playing time, but I was on the soccer field a little bit there back in the late 70s.
I think a little bit is an understatement.
Calvin wasn't around to film the athletic prowess that I carried back then.
Yeah.
And I can say that because I had no film to come back and haunt me to prove otherwise.
But I knew Dale Hawksby. Nice guy.
Hey, you idiot, I played against you. What are you talking about?
Nice guy.
Hey, I played against you. Well, I saw you play.
Okay.
Checking into the game is Jackson Hooper. And Joe and I we go way back.
Nice job. That was a great play by Levar. We were ready to put that defense to the shot on net. Defend the ball by shot and defend the field and put it out. Good job by Josh. That was number 4. Near sideline trying to find Hooper. Nice job by Tyndall. To Friendly. Over to McAfee. McAfee will send the through ball. Coming off his line is Grayson King. And he'll get there no problem. He'll work his way to the 18. And that gets by Dwyer. Here's an opportunity for the Griffins. And what a nice save. Great play by Otis Wetkin. And that was number 9, Harvey Merrill. And Shamir Foster had to go down. Nice shot. On the defense. But and that by far was the best opportunity for the Griffins. Try to get a shot off. They throw it out. Actually, back to McAfee. McAfee sends the ball across. Ball headed by Levar to the end line. Friendly's there. And nice job by Grayson King coming off his line. And they're working their way to the 18. He sends the ball up. We got 11 minutes and 17 seconds left in the second half. 1-0 Chazy. Dwyer now gets the ball on the far side. Back to his favor. And they say, way down the far side. They could be defended by Levar. With by Levar. Shot off. That goes off of Grayson. But he recovers. Good thing because Peter Levar was there. So good job by Grayson has it knocked away. And now the Griffins are picking the pace up a little bit. But the ball's cleared out by the Eagles. So throw in on the far side. It will be Reynolds, Caden Reynolds. For the Griffins. So the ball coming into the Griffins. Right side. Running into his number. So here's the whistle blown. The ball will go to Chazy. But it's that blue-collar work ethic of Luke Moser. He wanted that goal. He got that goal. They've been feeding him all the second half. And the hard work of Luke Moser gives Chazy the new 2-0 lead with 8 minutes and 31 seconds left in the second half. Good effort by the Eagles, Joe, and the way they've been playing the second half, you know it's a matter of time. You have to agree. Great commentary, Joe. I mean, you haven't missed anything since you've been away. I mean, that in-depth knowledge of coming back and everything here. That hope while you have the fish on the camera. For Chazy. Shots favor Chazy 14-5, but where it matters most is the scoreboard. And senior Caden Anguero getting ready to check into the game. So Coach McAuliffe has taken out Merrill. Probably not a bad idea. There's no reason to have this young man get hurt.
He's played a great game again.
He played an awesome game. And it is Levar cutting it to the inside. Levar, another low shot, and going down for the save was Grayson King. He'll work his way to the 18. Ball is picked up by McAfee. Comes to the near sideline. Over to Gunnar Frenier. Frenier cut it to the inside. He's being defended well. And a good job defensively by Judah Rutz. It goes off the end line or sideline, so throw in for Chazy. And it is Moser. And Joe, you know, it is probably fitting that both goals have come from seniors tonight for Chazy.
Nice to see. Levar just had a great career.
Jackson Hooper. Hooper getting the shot off. That's deflected to the outside. And the ball is chipped up wide of the net. So checking into the game is, for Chazy, is Austin Dozer checking into the game. So Coach McAuliffe makes some change, getting Dylan McAfee off. Another good move. You want to get your playmakers, your midfielders who do a wonderful job controlling the midfield out. With the save and some nice work by in for the Griffins deep into Chazy territory. Under 4 minutes left in this second half. Off the end line, so a goal kick for Chazy. They will take their time. And, of course, we're under 5 minutes, so, of course, Gonzalez was to make a substitution. The clock would stop at this point. Not sure there was a substitution, but if there was. And it will be Zamir Foster taking his time with 3 minutes and 26 seconds and the clock ticking down. Foster chips the ball up. And it is going to Luke Mosier. Mosier steals the ball, comes to the outside. To Friendly. Friendly gets by Hooper. Center Friendly cuts it to the inside. Trying to get by Walker. Walker does a nice job. Cuts it to the inside. Trying to find Berta. Goes to Luke Mosier. Mosier chips it up. As he tries to find the feet of Austin Dozer. And Walker throwing over to Hooper. Dozer chips it up over to Dudiak. But quickly it's cleared by Carson Leback into Chazy territory. Ball headed up by Poyer. Poyer trying to clear it out. And it's controlled by number 7, Liberi. And it is Poyer. Just clears the ball out. So we have 2 minutes and 22 seconds left in the second half. How's that move? Way up there now, Joe. The moon overlooking the field of dreams. So it is cleared out. Goes off the foot of the number 6, Golden Bueller. And we're at the 2-minute mark. And the call goes for the Griffins. And the Griffins want to get on the scoreboard here. They send the shot forward. And that goes by everybody into the hands of Zamir Foster. Coach McCullough, not like that one. And Foster was kind of screamed a little bit on that.
Yeah, that was a nice save. He tried to make
That's 3 quality saves with that.
Yes, he has.
I mean, they had some good saves for that. I'll tell you what, they could have given that lead to them.
Yeah.
Solid sent clear up and on to Gray. So we're in a minute 24. So for Chazy, I mean, they're just trying to keep that no score record intact. Since the first game of the second game of the tournament, Memorial, we have the goal for the Hornets in the championship game. And they have not given up a goal since, but boy, the Griffins had their opportunities in the second half.
Came down to play. They had their hanging their heads off and they got down by the second goal. They're still coming out Chazy.
Well, I'll tell you, Joe, I mean, you get a rivalry like this, I expect nothing less between these two teams.
It's different. I mean, come on. You've got 3 schools now combined. It's not the same. It isn't the same. Of course, everybody wants to be Chazy, but it's not the same. You know, that's just the nature of the beast now up here in the North Country. They're losing population, and they got to do that. It's not good.
So it's Grayson King with the kick at midfield, headed by Dudiak. We're down to 16 seconds. And Dozer gives the ball up over to Dudiak. And Chazy will maintain their perfect record, other than the tie at Canton. And again, they have another game not giving up a goal. So Chazy on senior night at the George Bremer Field, they beat their rival